In the whirlwind world of the bold and the beautiful, things are spiraling faster than anyone could have imagined. Luna Nozawa's shocking return from the dead has sent shockwaves through Los Angeles, and the fallout is only just beginning. Her miraculous survival after being nearly strangled by Lee Finnegan isn't the end of her ordeal, it's just the start. Luna's life hangs in the balance, not just physically, but legally, emotionally, and socially. Everyone wants answers, but no one's ready for the truths that are about to come out. Finn is the first to explode. His fury toward Lee is raw and visceral. The revelation that his adoptive mother nearly killed Luna, his cousin, has ignited something in him that no one has seen before. He confronts Lee in a scene filled with rage and betrayal, lashing out at the woman who raised him. Lee tries to defend herself, claiming she was trying to protect the family, but Finn isn't hearing it. His loyalty is shattered. The Hippocratic oath she once upheld is meaningless to him now. He demands she face consequence both legally and within their family. Meanwhile, Poppy Nozawa is blindsided. Finding out her daughter is alive after believing her dead sends her into emotional shock. She's horrified by what Lee has done and desperate to reunite with Luna. But that reunion won't be simple. Luna, though relieved to be found, is terrified. She's caught between her trauma, the fear of going to prison, and a secret she never planned on revealing, at least not like this. Inside her bag, authorities find a pregnancy test. Not just any test, a positive one. And this changes everything. Luna is terrified, but also sees a glimmer of hope. If she can prove she's carrying Will Spencer's child, it might be enough to keep her out of prison. Her injuries, her emotional state, and now the pregnancy all paint a picture of a vulnerable young woman in need of protection, not punishment. But will Bill Spencer buy it? Bill is skeptical by nature. He's no stranger to manipulation and deceit. When Luna claims she's pregnant with Will's baby, he doesn't take it at face value. He demands proof, real medical evidence. Luna agrees, seeing no other way out. She submits to hospital testing, supervised and controlled. Eventually, the results come in. Luna is indeed pregnant. But the paternity, that's still in question, at least to Bill. He demands a prenatal DNA test. Luna insists the child is Will's, but the seed of doubt has already been planted. This is a crossroads for Bill. If the test confirms Will is the father, he's faced with a brutal decision: protect Luna at all costs to shield his grandchild, or cut her off and risk losing everything. Luna uses every ounce of her remaining strength to plead her case. She reminds Bill of how she was nearly killed while in custody. If she goes back, she could lose the baby. She insists that if she miscarries, it will be his fault. That threat, however subtle, hits Bill in a place he didn't know was vulnerable. The power dynamics shift. Luna is no longer just a scared girl, she's potentially carrying the Spencer heir, and that changes the game. Bill considers house arrest as an option, or even something more extreme: isolation. Somewhere he can keep an eye on her, away from the press, away from enemies, and above all, away from prison. Could Luna become a Spencer hostage for her own protection? The tension crackles as Bill weighs the risks. All this time, Finn continues to spiral. His world has been turned upside down. The woman he trusted most tried to kill his cousin. His biological and adoptive families are at war. When he learns Luna is alive, he rushes to her side, but the sight of her battered face and terrified eyes only fuels his rage. He promises her protection. Poppy arrives soon after, overcome with emotion, crying and apologizing to her daughter. The family, fractured beyond repair, is forced into a fragile truce for now. Then there's Will. The golden boy now finds himself at the center of a scandal that could destroy everything. Just as he's working up the courage to come clean about Luna and the night they spent together, Electra Forrester delivers a romantic bombshell. She surprises him with a sweet, intimate gift, something meaningful, something symbolic. It's a gesture that blindsides Will with guilt. The contrast between Electra's affection and the secret he's keeping is unbearable. Will tries to hold it together, but he eventually cracks. He doesn't confess everything, but he lets enough slip that Elektra's suspicions are piqued. She's no fool. As Will stumbles through half-truths and awkward silences, she begins piecing things together. The tension between them builds, and it's clear that when the truth finally comes out, Elektra won't take it quietly. Meanwhile, over in the Hope-Liam Carter triangle, things are heating up in their own way. Liam refuses to let go of Hope. He insists that they still have something worth saving, even as Hope tries to move on. Carter Walton, caught in the middle, is forced to confront the reality. Hope still belongs with Liam. It's a bitter pill to swallow, especially after everything Carter has invested emotionally. But he can see it in their eyes, the lingering connection, the unfinished story. Carter steps back, heartbroken, as Hope and Liam inch closer to reconciliation. This emotional chaos only adds more fuel to the fire already blazing through the Forrester and Spencer clans. Back to Lena, her pregnancy becomes the focal point of the entire saga. Media outlets start sniffing around, catching wind of the scandal. Rumors swirl. Is Luna really pregnant? Is Will the father? Was the near-fatal attack part of a larger cover-up? Bill clamps down on the press, but the damage is done. Luna's name is everywhere. Supporters rally behind her. Critics call her a liar and manipulator. The court of public opinion is split, and the stakes are higher than ever. Privately, Luna begins to crumble. Her trauma is real. The anxiety, the fear, the guilt, it all weighs on her. She doesn't want to be seen as a villain, but she also doesn't want to be a victim. She confides in Finn, the only person she still trusts completely. He urges her to stay strong, promises to protect her and the baby. Poppy hovers close, refusing to leave her side again. The mother-daughter bond, strained and frayed, begins to mend slowly. Then the prenatal DNA results come in. Will Spencer is the father. This revelation turns everything upside down again. Bill is forced to act. He can't let the mother of his grandchild rot in jail. He begins negotiating with the Dow, pulling strings, leveraging power. He proposes a deal: house arrest, under 24/7 security at a Spencer estate. No media, no visitors, no slip-ups. Luna accepts, grateful and terrified. It's not freedom, but it's not prison either. But Luna's safety is still at risk. There are whispers that someone wants her silent settlement, Lee. Maybe someone tied to Lee. Maybe someone with their own motives. Bill doesn't take chances. He doubles security. Meanwhile, Will is stuck between duty and desire. He wants to be a father, but he's not sure he's ready. His relationship with Elektra begins to unravel. She feels betrayed, humiliated, and confused. Eventually, she demands the truth and Will finally confesses everything. Elektra walks out. As the dust settles, Finn continues to confront Lee. He demands she turn herself in. Lee refuses. She claims she did what she had to do to protect her family from scandal, from shame. But her words fall flat. Finn issues an ultimatum: confess or he will cut all ties with her forever. It's a brutal blow, but he means it. Lee faces the real possibility of arrest. Her medical license is suspended pending investigation. Her reputation is in tatters. Meanwhile, Carter watches as Liam and Hope inch closer to rebuilding their bond. He steps aside, quietly heartbroken. His suffering is quiet, internal. The audience sees it. He knows this was never his happy ending. Hope and Liam share a look, a touch, a kiss, and the chapter reopens. But the storm isn't over. The Spencer legacy is in flux. The Forrester dynasty is under scrutiny. The Nozawas are fractured. Everyone's loyalty is tested. Secrets keep unraveling, and danger still looms. In the world of the bold and the beautiful, the stakes have never been higher and everyone is playing for keeps. Taylor Hayes is done playing it safe. After years of trying to heal wounds, hold families together, and live in the shadow of the Forrester dynasty, Taylor reaches her breaking point. Watching Ridge go back and forth between her and Brooke, watching her children fall in and out of heartbreak, and seeing her efforts to bring peace and in pain it's too much. Her heart, cracked and bruised, has finally had enough. But instead of folding, she rises stronger, smarter, and ready to make a move that no one sees coming. Taylor doesn't retreat quietly into therapy or spiritual retreats this time. She steps out of her comfort zone and walks straight into the lion's den. She joins forces with former enemies, fashion outcasts, and corporate rebels to build something bold, a fashion house that doesn't bow to the legacy of Forrester Creations. The mission isn't revenge. It's reinvention. But make no mistake, Taylor is coming for power, and she's not apologizing for it. The first name on her list, Quinn Fuller. After years of being the outsider at Forrester, Quinn is ready to shake the industry again. With her sharp eye for jewelry design, her no-nonsense attitude, and her desire to finally be in control of her own narrative, Quinn doesn't hesitate to join Taylor's vision. Together, they form a foundation emotionally wounded, professionally underestimated, and creatively on fire. Next comes Thomas. Disillusioned with Ridge's wavering loyalty and tired of begging for respect at Forrester, Thomas finally takes the leap. His mother's passion reignites something in him. He joins the project not just as a designer, but as co-creative director, eager to leave behind the toxic legacies of the past and help forge a brand that breaks rules instead of living in them. But Taylor knows talent alone won't win a war. She needs strategy. So she taps into a secret weapon, someone no one expected, Donna Logan. Betrayed and humiliated by Eric's final rejection, Donna is nursing a pain that only power can soothe. When Taylor offers her a seat at the table, not just as a PR figurehead, but as a partner with real leverage, Donna says yes, shocking Brooke and Katie alike. And suddenly, the lines are redrawn. This isn't just a fashion house. This is a rebellion. It's a studio born out of heartbreak, betrayal, and the need to control their own destinies. They name it Nova Mode, Latin for new style, a place where visionaries, not last names, determine direction, where healing and disruption walk hand in hand, and where every campaign dares to ask the industry why it's still stuck in the past. Forrester Creations doesn't see the threat at first. Ridge is distracted. Brooke is busy keeping the family intact. Hope is dealing with her emotional mess with Liam and Carter. Steffi is managing damage control after the fallout with Sheila. Everyone assumes Nova Mode is a vanity project, a passing rebellion led by a woman scorned. But they're wrong. Nova Mode launches its first collection and it's a sensation. Edgy but elegant. Futuristic but wearable. The press can't stop talking. The Forrester team scrambles to adjust, but it's too late. Taylor's story, the woman who was always the backup, the runner-up, the afterthought, is everywhere. The media spins it as a feminist reawakening. From Shrink to Shark, one article reads, "Sales skyrocket. Stock prices shift. Influencers, once loyal to Forrester, start aligning with Nova Mode." But it's not just fashion that's changing. It's the players. Ridge is blindsided. He never thought Taylor would walk away from the family to build a rival empire. He confronts her, trying to talk her down, to remind her of what they once shared. But Taylor doesn't flinch. She tells Ridge she's done waiting. She's done being second choice. She's building something of her own, and it doesn't include him. Brooke sees the writing on the wall. If Nova Mode keeps rising, Forrester risks losing its grip. She tries to convince Hope to step up, to be more aggressive. But Hope is exhausted. Between her broken relationship with Liam, her lingering feelings for Thomas, and the pressure of maintaining HFTF, she starts slipping. Carter tries to support her, but even he sees the cracks forming. Meanwhile, Taylor leans into her newfound role as visionary. She's not just consulting on brand direction, she's speaking at design summits, commanding interviews, becoming the face of a movement. Women rally around her, tired of being dismissed, ready to reclaim power. Nova Mode becomes more than a brand. It becomes a symbol. But success brings danger. Steffi, torn between family loyalty and her mother's independence, starts to unravel. She wants to support Taylor, but she knows Nova Mode could destroy everything the Forresters built. She tries to mediate to find common ground, but Rich makes it impossible. He becomes obsessed with winning Taylor back, not out of love, but out of fear that he's losing control. Fear that he's being replaced. Eric, aging and growing disillusioned, watches from the sidelines. He sees Nova Mode's rise and wonders if Forrester's time has passed. He tries to mentor RJ to infuse the company with fresh energy, but RJ's distracted by his own romantic entanglements and artistic crisis. The younger generation feels the weight of legacy crushing their creativity. Nova Mode, by contrast, feels alive. Then comes the corporate strike. Nova Mode poaches one of Forrester's key suppliers, followed by a top influencer contract. Then a scandal breaks. An anonymous leak exposes toxic management practices at Forrester, dated gender policies, and questionable hiring. Speculation swirls. Is someone inside leaking to Nova Mode? Is Donna behind it? Is Thomas? Suspicion fractures the Forrester family further. Loyalty is questioned. Trust disappears. Bill Spencer, ever the opportunist, circles like a shark. He offers to invest in Nova Mode, seeing profit and revenge rolled into one. Taylor hesitates. She doesn't want to trade one patriarch for another. But Quinn wants funding. Donna wants leverage. Thomas wants to push Forrester into the ground. The vote is split. Taylor makes a bold move. She agrees to a limited partnership with Spencer Publications, but only on her terms. Bill doesn't control creative. He doesn't get board seats. He funds, he markets, but he stays out of the house. It's a risky gamble, but it works. Nova Mode's exposure explodes. Bill reaps financial rewards, and the Forrester name continues to bleed relevance. Steffi finally draws a line. She accuses her mother of turning fashion into a war zone. She begs her to stop before everything burns. But Taylor's response is cold. Sometimes things need to burn before they can be rebuilt. Hope and Thomas collide once again. He wants her at Nova Mode. He wants to start over without the Forrester baggage. Hope is tempted the freedom, the vision, the chance to escape. But she's still tangled in Liam's emotional grip. Torn between past and future, she starts cracking. When she finally agrees to walk away from Forrester and join Nova Mode, Brooke sees it as the ultimate betrayal. Family dinners become battlefields. The boardroom turns into a war zone. And Taylor Hayes, once a supporting character in the soap opera of Forrester love triangles, is now the most powerful woman in fashion. Nova Mode becomes the go-to house for stars, stylists, and cultural tastemakers. They redefine trends, dominate social media, and launch a new era of celebrity-driven couture. But Taylor isn't content yet. She's building something bigger, an empire with values. A design school for underrepresented youth. A mental health initiative tied to every campaign. A platform for women over 40 to reclaim visibility in an industry that discards them. She's turning personal pain into public purpose, and the world is watching. Ridge, sidelined and ashamed, finally realizes he never really knew Taylor. He loved a version of her that stayed in place. Not this woman. Not this force. He makes one final plea, but it's too late. Taylor's found something better than love. She's found power, purpose, and peace. And as Nova Mode prepares to unveil its next collection during Paris Fashion Week with a surprise finale dress designed by Quinn and modeled by none other than Donna Logan, the fashion world braces for impact. Taylor Hayes is no longer asking for space at the table. She's building her own. And everyone else. They're either adapting or being left behind.